Hey guys, how's it going? So today I am going to talk about the movie Focus. This review was a little late. I'm sorry, I got held up with a lot of things. But anyways, we're going to talk about Focus. Focus is the new movie starring Will Smith and Margot Robbie. And this is the first movie in a while that doesn't star Will Smith and Jaden, or Will Smith is not the devil. Which is just actors. uh, or not a sequel. Men in Black 3. Uh, so this movie is about two con men. One con man, one con woman. Will Smith plays the con man. He has a good reputation of being a con man, and then he kind of meets this girl. They kind of, I wouldn't say fall in love, but they kind of start liking each other. They start developing a relationship, and then and then after I'm not gonna explain it into big detail, but because it does take twists and turns. So basically, it's about these two con men, and then one day they get separated, they meet again. That's basically the story. It's a very twisty, turny story. I wasn't really looking forward to this. I mean, I like Will Smith, even though the last few movies, like I said, hasn't been good. It's either been a sequel, Men in Black 3, a movie with Sun, After Earth, and Winter's Tale, which I haven't seen Men in Black 3 or Winter's Tale, but I did see After Earth, and that was a piece of shit movie, and he was horrible in it. I don't think it was his fault. Well, I do think it was his fault, but I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt that I was still giving him the benefit of the doubt that he could make a good movie. And well, this isn't the best movie ever, but I also like Margot Robbie too. This wasn't the best movie ever, but it was a damn decent one. It's good to see Will Smith in a decent movie. And I will say, I liked watching this movie. It wasn't a movie I loved. I wouldn't even say it's good. It's okay. It's alright. It's decent. I like watching it. I will say this: Will Smith and Margot Robbie are both great, and they both have excellent chemistry. Their chemistry kept me through this movie. It kept me entertained throughout, and I just loved their chemistry. Every scene with one of them made me laugh. It made me even feel a little emotional because they had great chemistry. If it was a romantic movie with the both of them, I would be like, hey, that would be great. Like, if it had a better script, I think these two would make a fantastic movie because they make a great pair. Really, they do. And I really like them, even though the writing wasn't that good. It comes from the directors of Crazy Stupid Love, which is a movie I love, but it is a simple story. The writing here, you need someone with a lot more focus. Like, let's say you give this to David Fincher, or not, maybe not David Fincher, someone with a very good, I don't know who I could think of right now off the top of my head, but if you give this to a really good director, I'm trying to think of who could do it. Matthew Vaughn. Let's say you give it to Matthew Vaughn or Guy Ritchie, and I'm not even the biggest diehard fan of Guy Ritchie, but if you give it to someone like that, I think you could make a solid movie. Or no, Stephen Knight. If you give it to someone like Stephen Knight, who did Lock last year, if you give it to someone like that, I think you could make a really good movie. But these guys should only stick to doing comedy. They did Las Vegas, which I really enjoyed in that movie. If you haven't seen it, I think it's an underrated comedy. And yeah, so they made some comedies. So I mean, this movie is funny and it does have a good sense of humor. The jokes are really funny. There's references throughout. It's funny. It is a funny movie, but it's just convoluted, twisty. Try to be smart. Just be a fun movie. At least know you're being a fun movie. Maybe they had one big con, and I mean, yeah. But anyways, I'm getting off track. The cinematography is beautiful. It looks like a great movie. I'm saying this, like, if you gave someone else a script, like a really good writer, I think you could actually make a good movie. And if you let those guys direct, I think they could be good too because the directing is okay. It's not badly directed. It's a okay directed film. Maybe if they had a better screenplay, I think they wrote the screenplay. I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure they did. The guy that there are some other good ones. Rodrigo Santoro, if you don't know, Xerxes kind of plays somewhat of a villain. I thought he was just dumb. He didn't have that big of a role, but I just thought his role was dumb. And I mean, he's okay. I like him in 300. I like him in other stuff like Love Actually. I think he is a good actor. But just, I don't. No, I don't. I didn't like him in this movie. There was this old dude. While I didn't like the twist with him, by the way, there are some stupid twists. There are so many in just one scene. It's like, have a good focus. Pun, very intended. It did not have a good focus. But there's this one guy, this one older dude. I don't know his name, but he was really funny. I liked him in the movie. There was this guy, he kind of looked like Nick Mundy from Screen Junkies in the movie. I mean, he was pretty funny. He's like the fat psychic of Will Smith. And there's some other like people in there too. Like some other people. There's this awesome scene. There are some cool scenes in this movie. There is one awesome scene. Like this scene was just so well directed and just I love the scene until there was a dumb thing that happened. But I love this scene. It was clever. It was a gambling scene where you thought Will Smith was gonna like trouble Will Smith, where you thought like his character was gonna get in trouble, and then he just and then I'm not gonna spoil it, but like he got into trouble with an Asian guy. It was just so stylistic. It was really cool. The guy that played the Asian guy, I think his name is B.D. Wong. He was in Jurassic Park. But yeah, he was. But yeah, that scene was incredible. That's the best scene in the whole movie, and it is. It's one of the best scenes I've seen so far this year. I mean, like scenes alone, that scene was incredible. It was like you could. I felt like it was too good for this movie to be honest. But anyways, overall, I enjoyed this movie. It was a good movie. Margot Robbie and Will Smith were really good in this movie. It's convoluted, but you know, it's a fun movie to watch. It's definitely a better rental matinee, maybe. Like if you're a fan of Will Smith and you're kind of sick of what he's been doing lately, I think this is good, and I think Suicide Squad has more hope after this movie because at least they both have really good chemistry. So I'm gonna give this movie a B minus. It's definitely a decent movie. I do kind of recommend seeing it. Maybe not in theaters, but definitely worth seeing. All right, guys, that's my review. Like, subscribe, and bye bye.